Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Seth. We have our Week 14 preview. Jordan will be hopping on in just a minute. Phil is out. I guess he said he saw one of those ads on his computer that said, like, win a free PS5, and it was like an archery game, and he's on to archery. So he started playing it. Long story short, I don't think his computer's working very well. He wanted to meet in person, but we are not going to do that back-to-back Thursday pods. So sorry about that, Phil. Good luck to your computer getting that fixed. Jordan is at a basketball game. He will be hopping on in about 5 minutes, but it is 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night. We got our Week 14 preview, so we wanted to hop into that. But Seth, how are you doing, man, before we get to these games?
I'm good, I mean, we're on this pod, we started late, but we're going to power through. We don't need Phil. We don't need this, whatever he is to us in this podcast. He's supposedly a host, but he's not here. So
yeah,
not even here to host his own show.
Yeah, not here to host his own show. And before Jordan gets on, we have our Week 14 matchups. We have starts, we have sits, sleepers, all kinds of stuff. I actually have a quick message from the Fantasy Dad. His voice is back. He just wanted to do a nice little, little video here. So I'm going to play that real quick before Jordan gets on.
Hey, Dad.
What's up, buddy?
All I want for Christmas is for you and the Fantasy Football Dudes to do a show together.
That's never been done before. It can't be done. But wait! What if a Christmas miracle happens on December 19th? Just happens to be December 19th. We do a show together. A Christmas show. It'll be a magical show. Merry Christmas, boy!
So I am going to do a show with the Fantasy Dad. He's going to be giving out some Christmas awards to his favorite fantasy players. You won't want to miss that. Put that on your calendar for December 19th, a modern day Christmas miracle. The dads and the dudes are finally going to do a show together. That should be a lot of fun. It'll be a third bonus show on the week, so you won't want to miss that, guys. Remember to don't be rude. Share the dude. Subscribe when you can. And it looks like Jordan just got on, so we're going to have Jordan hop on here as soon as I get this set up. So Jordan is now on the stage with us. Looks like his mic might be muted, but he is back from the basketball game and ready to rumble. Jordan, we just had a little announcement from the Fantasy Dad. There's going to be a Christmas special he's putting out here on the show. And so, we're excited for that. December 19th. Mark your calendars. People will probably stay up till midnight, waiting for that to come out. Go check us out on YouTube at TFF Dudes. We got the 3-screen going on. Phil is working on his computer virus he's trying to fix from that archery game he was playing, Jordan. So anyways, Jordan, you guys win?
Yeah.
Nice. Can we have a score update? Was it all coaching? Like, did you get a technical?
Not it was a win, but not worth talking about.
Okay.
One of those wins.
Okay, we have all been there.
So you got a technical is what you're saying.
No.
You wanted a technical.
Yeah, I feel like getting technical right now.
Nice.
On the pod.
Yeah, let's talk football. I don't want to talk about basketball. Let's talk football here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into our Week 14 sleepers, guys. I got to pull up the show notes here. I'm doing a little hosting, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of picks and all that good stuff. While I'm pulling those notes up, guys, the worst thing that can happen to your fantasy football league is to have a league without a trophy. You have the prize money, maybe you have the pride, but you really need that trophy to take it up to the next level, guys. That's why we partnered up with our friends at Trophy Smack. Go to trophysmack.com/dudes, and they will match you up to, they'll give you 15% off your order right there. So 15% off your whole entire order at trophysmack.com/dudes for 15% off the whole entire order, guys. Really helps us out. Help yourself out as well. So, guys, we have our Week 14. It is Week 14, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's crazy.
Wow. We're flying through here. Okay, Week 14 sleepers. Yeah, Jordan, why don't you give your sleeper first, then Seth, and I'll bat clean up here.
Sounds good. Okay, my sleeper is Drake London. Little bit less of a deep sleeper like I like to give, but Tampa Bay gives it the fourth most fantasy points to wide receivers. I love picking on this secondary. Been kind of doing it all year long. My only question is like Desmond Ridder. Like, can he get Drake London the ball? Will he be involved enough? But I'm going to trust the matchups here. I'm going to trust the talent with Drake London. I think like wide receiver 40, where I've seen him being ranked, is just way too low. I think he has potential to be a top 20 wide receiver this week.
Very good. What do you got here, Seth?
Yeah, so my sleeper this week is Roschon Johnson. Roschon Johnson kind of took over that starting role in week 12. They had a bye last week. He played 74% of the snaps, had quite a few carries. I think he had 10 carries for 35 yards. So not too efficient, but what was nice is the passing game. He was 5 for 5 for 40 yards. So he's getting involved in the passing game, playing a lot. I can see the Bears getting down in this game behind the Lions. But what's encouraging about this is the Lions have given up 6 touchdowns rushing in the last 6 games. So that's something encouraging. Hopefully it's not Justin Fields taking that rushing touchdown. Roschon gets in there, but Roschon Johnson is my sleeper of the week.
All right, my sleeper of the week. I've been beating on this drum for a couple weeks here on the waiver wire articles. I have Keaton Mitchell. He actually led the Ravens in snap percentage, snaps, rushing yards, and touches last time they played versus the Chargers. They're playing the Rams this week. Keaton Mitchell, he's very explosive when he gets the ball. I'm hoping I think the opportunities are going to keep coming. I believe Gus Edwards didn't even get some goal line carries in that last time they played. So I'm really thinking this is Keaton Mitchell's season right here, and I think he could be that team that, catapults your team, into possibly a championship if he can keep up this yards per carry pace he's doing. But he's definitely the best running back on that team. And right now he's 77% rostered, which is still pretty high, but there's a good chance that you have a league or two that he is available in. But I think he's really good. And I think it's a good play this week against the Rams.
10-man leagues for sure. I think he might be available.
Okay. So those were our sleepers. We had Drake London, Roschon Johnson, and Keaton Mitchell. With that being said, let's hop into the most exciting Thursday night football game maybe ever. Maybe I don't think it is ever. I think it's maybe one of the worst maybe games, period. We have the 2-10 Patriots traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the 7-5 Steelers and Mitchell Trubisky and company. The total is 30 points. Pittsburgh is favored by 6. I have not put in a sleeper play for this game yet. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the unders. My favorite play might be the Patriots defense, might be one of them, maybe both sides of the ball. What are you thinking on this, Jordan? I'm not excited to play Jalen Warren versus this Patriots defense.
Nobody in this game.
Is this the lowest total in how long has it been? It's a very low total.
Did it move up? I had it at 30. Did it move at all? What did you just say?
Last I checked was 30. I don't know if it's moved up recently or not, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like you could say that Zeke is playable. I guess just because no Ramondre, like a decent matchup, but like, yeah, zero chance that I really want anyone in this game. You don't want to start your week off with someone in this game, except for maybe like I guess Jalen Warren. I don't know. I don't like it. I've already talked too much about this game. Like I don't know.
I'm not excited. I am kind of done with Jalen Warren. Like the Steelers offense is probably one of the most frustrating things of this whole entire season. Like Pickens should be good. Deontay Johnson should be good. They thought it was Matt Canada, but now Kenny Pickett's gone. We have Mitch Trubisky. I was really excited about Freiermuth last week. I thought that tight end would be a really good waiver ad that can maybe vault you, into playoffs, and especially for a guy that lost like Mark Andrews. But it doesn't even seem like Freiermuth's a guy. Maybe something changes on Thursday Night Football, but this game seems absolutely terrible. But I do think I will have some sleeper plays on, and I think I'm going to go unders. I haven't even looked at it yet. And speaking of sleeper, if you want to go play over at Sleeper, go over to Sleeper, enter promo code DUDES100. They will match you up to $100, guys, and take your whole league over there. Also, we use them for a lot of stats and all kinds of other good stuff. Sleeper is the absolute best place to play fantasy football. So anything else you guys want to say in this game?
No, Trent, you want to get the pick'em results from last week real quick?
Yeah, let's get the pick'em results real quick. You have those ready?
Yeah, so Phil and Seth both went 8-5. Trent, you and I both went 9-4. Trent, you had 41 as a tiebreaker score. I had 44. That game went like 65 points. So by default, I win.
Nice.
So that brings the total. I think I have 5. Trent, you have 3. Seth has 3, and Phil has 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that is too bad. And I guess we'll see what happens. I guess we'll go to the next game. I'm going to say Steelers win this game.
Yeah, I got Steelers too. Did Phil? We got to get Phil's picks at some point.
We don't have Phil's picks yet.
So he can just be a loser. It's fine. It's his own fault.
If he wants, I'm sure he'll text those into you, Jordan, and make it super simple.
The last time this happened, he didn't text me 3 games.
Yeah.
He sent a bunch of teams and didn't have 3 games. So
yeah, we need a better punishment for this.
You say
I'm
Pittsburgh?
going to say Steelers win.
Okay.
All right. Going on to our next game, we have these. So I'm jumping between a couple things. We have the Seattle Seahawks who are 6-6 traveling to San Francisco to take on the 9-3 49ers. The total is 46.5, and San Francisco is favored by 10.5. Seth, you have a sit in this game, it seems like this will be hard for you to do.
Yeah, this is hard. So I think Charbonnet isn't playing from what I understand. But Kenneth Walker's back this week. The 49ers defense is just really good. We saw what they did to the Eagles last week. The Eagles could not run the ball at all. The Eagles were also behind most of the game. And I think the Seahawks have started to figure out, like, if they want to win games, they're just going to need to sling it. And I don't know if that's really the best way to approach it, but I think this game, Seahawks are going to be down the throwing the ball a lot. And I think Kenneth Walker is not going to benefit from it. Sure, he might get some dump downs, but I don't think it's really going to amount to very much. I think this game is going to be ugly. I'm actually going to be at this game on Sunday, so hopefully I'm completely wrong about Kenneth Walker, but I can watch in front of my eyes if it's actually going to be right or not. So we'll see.
Yeah. Trent, you good?
Yeah, I had to grab something over there. Yeah, it is. I feel kind of bad for you to have a sit, Seth, at a game you're actually going to. Last week
that's no fun.
Last week, Seth, you did a play.
Like I said, Sleeper. I hope I'm wrong, but I actually think that's what's going to happen.
Last week, Seth did a play on Sleeper that Geno Smith would throw a pick, and he started cheering. Now he's sitting Seahawks players. Like, this guy has no shame. I wish Phil was here to keep you in check for this, Seth, but.
Hey, all I'm saying, though, is while I'm at the game, I'm going to be making some bets for sure. I'm going to be betting on JSN over yards, probably going to lean some Tyler Lockett. Like, I think Seahawks will be throwing the ball here. So I think that's the only way they're going to be able to compete. So
fire up your 49ers. Like we say every week. Decent pretty spot.
I'd say it's a pretty good spot for the San Francisco passing game again with Debo and Kittle and Ayuk. So really like the CMC. Always good spot for Purdy, and then I like DK and Lockett on the other side too. DK is just in one of those grooves right now. So
I
hope it keeps going.
Yeah, like I think he's kind of unstoppable. If the Seahawks win, I think it'll be because of DK.
Yeah,
if they pull this off, he will be a big contributing factor. I'm hoping that Geno Smith can kind of keep piecing stuff together, because he looked really good against that Dallas defense. I know the 49ers pass rush is tough, but he should be able to maybe complete some stuff and keep him in the game. I'm hoping.
Think so.
Last week. Anything else we want to say in this, Seth? No, you gonna wear your Bobo jersey to the game?
No, I'm wearing my JSN jersey. So, but I'll be there. So, and that's why I'm going to pick the Hawks. Hawks are going to win.
Okay, I'm going to go 49ers win this one.
I got 49ers.
We used to be able to pencil Phil in for stuff like this, like Seahawks, but last week he went against his heart,
Yeah, he went against the Seahawks last time, so he doesn't get a pick on this game either.
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm going 49ers, of course. And next on our list here, guys, we have the Buffalo Bills, some would say this may be the game of the week, but the 6-6 Buffalo Bills traveling to Kansas City to take on the 8-4 Chiefs. The line is 47.5. KC is favored by 2.5. We actually have some pretty good games in this slate. We also have some really bad ones. There's some really low totals. There's some really high totals. This is one of the better totals. Got a little rematch from the AFC Championship a couple of years ago. I think Gabe Davis could actually have a big game in this. And help me out with the notes, guys, with who has starts and sits here. I'm bouncing back and forth on screens here. I think we're good. I like Gabe Davis. I like Dalton Kincaid, Stephon Diggs. Chiefs side of the ball, who you liking, Jordan, other than Kelsey and Pacheco?
I just like Kelsey and Mahomes. Like, it's hard. Rashee Rice is probably okay here. It's just
He's
like a
playing
really
good.
good game. Yeah. I think the only like sleeper guy in this game or like low key guy would be like Shakir. He's still playing a ton. Had a big game 2 weeks ago, decent game last week. So I think Shakir is still very in play as like a deep sleeper, but at the same time, like it's a solid defense, but a game that I think, a solid defense, but a defense I think is maybe getting worse as the year's going on.
It seems like
Yeah.
people are figuring out what works on them.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not starting him for the first time in like 8 weeks this week in fantasy football. Like, I'm not dropping them, but I want to see what they can do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like they're looking good going into the fantasy football playoff stretch. Like, am I crazy that I'm starting the New England Patriots over the Kansas City Chiefs defense?
I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Backup QB with a defense that's playing really well.
Well, I don't
think
think,
it's fine.
in a super low total, I don't think you can really go wrong.
I was
necessarily
kind of
there.
surprised they were there.
Yeah.
But they are the 8th best fantasy defense right now is the Patriots. This will be a good one. Fire at both quarterbacks. Like, I want to say James Cook. It's not a great spot, Jordan, but I really don't know about the Chiefs. I don't know about the Chiefs defense right now.
I think I trust the Chiefs like running defense more than their passing defense right now. Like, I think this could be a game where both teams kind of move the ball through the air. So
what I'm looking at
That's
right
what the
now
Packers
is
did last week. Yeah.
James Cook has 3 straight games of double-digit fantasy points. His snap percentage has gone. It's in the 40s though. So I don't know. I'm like,
it's a mess right now.
Like,
Yeah, the
Keaton
Chiefs'
Mitchell
run D hasn't been incredible, but it hasn't been terrible either. So.
Yeah, well, a couple weeks ago, I'd have been like, absolutely not. Like, this is a bad spot.
The last 5 weeks though, they have given up like 15 or more fantasy points to running backs.
So maybe a sneakier. Yeah, James Cook's been pretty solid as of the last couple of weeks. But who knows if like Fournette after the bye week comes and takes some goal line carries, or Lat Murray's getting those goal line carries there, or Josh Allen. So he's doing it solely on volume.
Yep.
Like you said, they're Shakir and Rice. Those are good deep sleepers, and even Watson, Jordan. I'm gonna say this is a must-win game for Buffalo. Like, they have to win this game.
Maybe for Kansas City too, though. Like, it's kind of like must wins for both. Like, but I agree. Obviously, Buffalo's kind of screwed if they lose this game.
Yeah, this is Sunday Night Football.
No, Philadelphia, Dallas, Sunday Night Football. Well, something in the later spot. The prime time main slate Sunday spot.
You really don't need to turn on your football till about, that afternoon slate, and then you can just, stay in your couch with a bedpan or something till the end, because that's when the fun starts.
I'll be honest, Trent, like, and you didn't mention it, but these totals, man, there are some gross totals, and the weather is a huge deal. The weather's getting bad around this country. So, like, those dome games are huge. I don't know if we have many this week, but the dome games are a big deal.
Well, and like looking at it is I kind of like packing up my kickers in dome games this time of year. Even with like last year, Bass was really good for the Buffalo Bills, but it's like he's outdoor. It's not a lot, but like some of these games just get really gross with outdoor kickers, and I don't want to touch it because it's snowy and stuff like that. So kind of package, your kickers up with domes. Do that dome kicker package. You know, it's a good little kit there. But actually, my favorite package is the package 5.0 Ultra. It's the luxury full body grooming kit packed with tools, trimmers, and all the formulations your body could ever ask for. This luxury full body grooming kit has everything you need to stay on top of your manly rituals. It includes the Lawnmower 5.0, the Weed Whacker, Crop Soother, Crop Preserver, the Magic Mats 2-in-1 shampoo, body wash, the body buffer, deodorant, and much more, guys. Head over to Manscaped, promo code DUDES20, 20% off your whole entire order, and it really helps yourself out. Help yourself out, help someone else out as well. Great Christmas gift, great stocking stuffer. Manscaped, great friends of the pod. Again, DUDES20, 20% off your whole entire order. What else do you got about the weather there, Jordan?
Where?
Anywhere. I don't know. You're just talking about the weather, and I
I
thought it
don't
was
know.
a good
I just
transition there.
The weather's not good. Trent, we don't always. Trent just went like, "Hey, so how's the weather going?" You know, like we didn't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I did.
No, the weather's just not great. I sent you let me pull up that tweet I sent you, Trent. That'll be good. I'll have that pulled up.
Yeah, well, and looking at it is like I was, notice on my computer today there was a heat warning because it was like one of the hottest December days ever where we live. I think it was like 77. So definitely not a weather problem here in the Central California,
Nope.
in the town we live
Game
in.
in Santa Clara is gonna be real nice.
It'll be real nice, Yeah, the area we live, Kingsburg, which is about 15 miles southeast of a town called Meekler. So go check that out. What do you got, Jordan? You got the weather pulled up, and
yeah, I got the weather for any games that we have weather issues. I'll let you guys know.
All right, next game. Let's hop on to it here. Next game,
we gotta pick who he's gonna win. Game.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go Bills. They're back against the wall.
Is it in Kansas City?
Games in Kansas City is the thing.
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
You think Stephon Diggs will stay after the whole entire game and like watch him celebrate again, or no? Have you seen all the memes people have made of that, of him, all the things Stephon Diggs has stayed and watched? They keep photoshopping him in. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Next game, Sunday Night Football. We're going, highest totals, lowest totals for the most part here. I have a start in this game. The 10-2 Philadelphia Eagles travel to Dallas. The 9-3 Dallas Cowboys. The total is 53. Dallas is actually favored by 3.5. Dak Prescott is on fire. He's playing MVP caliber football. Ever since, I said I was done with him, he's totally proved me wrong. He's playing pretty well. He's probably playing the best he's ever played in his career. My start of the week, I have Brandon Cooks. He's been getting more and more involved as of late. And this Philadelphia defense has holes in it. CeeDee Lamb's have a great game. I also think Brandon Cooks is going to have a good game also. I think he's going to score a touchdown in this game. So fire up your Brandon Cooks. I believe they let go another guy in their secondary again today. So lots of holes out there. And this is a passing defense I want to pick on. So Brandon Cooks, you want a deep flyer, maybe Michael Gallup. I like Ferguson a lot too, but Brandon Cooks, that is my start of the week. I don't think you can go wrong with that one. Anything you got here, Jordan?
Yeah, I just think it's a great game. 53 total. That's a huge total on this for this time of the year, but it's inside in the dome. Yeah, it's just a really, really, really good spot for the Dallas passing game. I love the Cooks call. Really bummed this game's not in the main slate though, just because it'll be a showdown DFS game, but it will be a great Sunday night game. I think the passing game for the Eagles is great too. That's where Dallas has been more vulnerable, I feel like. So yeah, I like everything. I like all the wide receivers, all the both quarterbacks. Just a really awesome, fun, gonna be a really fun Sunday night game. Like Seth, it's gonna suck that you won't be able to watch this game because I'm assuming you'll be driving back. But
I ain't driving. I'll be watching on my phone. So
that's clutch.
Nice.
You make your little brother drive and you get to watch.
Hey man, when his vehicle is more gas efficient, he's gonna drive.
That's true. It's true. You guys are cruising in his, what's it
electric
called?
Vehicle?
Little electric vehicle. You got a Prius or something?
It's Fiat. It's Fiat. They're gonna be rolling up the game in the Fiat.
Yeah. Seth, so it's not that bad with the gas mileage, but sitting in my brother's lap while he drives is the awkward part.
You can hardly call a Ford Maverick a truck, but believe it or not, it has a bed.
Yeah. I saw those and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that's a truck. Like, yeah, the gas mileage is really nice, but Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost like a
it's almost like an El Camino.
or like a station wagon or something. I don't know. But Jordan, did you guys see what David Carr said today? You guys see that?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw something about he basically said that if Hurts is going to be hurt, they should just play Mariota because they can't run their offense or something like that.
Yeah, he said Marcus Mariota would be better and more productive right now for the Eagles than Jalen Hurts, which I
What?
don't.
That's just a load of crap, if I'm being honest. It
That's
makes no
clickbait.
sense. Yeah.
It's absolute clickbait, that like I love David Carr's like my, childhood hero. Like I remember him beating Oregon State, all the fun stuff. Like that was my introduction to Fresno State football. But what is David Carr doing saying Marcus Mariota is better than Jalen Hurts? Like the 49ers are just a really good defense.
They're a really good team. They killed the Cowboys early in the year. They killed the Jaguar. I don't know how good the Jaguars actually are, but they killed the Jaguars. Like they're a good team, a really good defense. And is he forgetting like 2 weeks ago when Jalen Hurts like led a comeback to beat the Bills? Like, is he forgetting about that game? Like, it just makes no sense to me. Like,
if Jalen Hurts is hurt, though, like I do believe he's hurt, and you maybe don't go to playoffs.
Oh, he's 100% hurt.
Yeah,
like
they should. I think how physical they play with him. I don't know how sustainable it is how he's playing right now at a longevity for his career. But
Trent, if you watch him, he's not running that much other than he's not really running.
Yeah.
There's no designed runs other than the tush push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they
I'll
have
be
some of
honest,
the draws they do in the red zone.
But do they feel like they don't do them that much. This is not like Lamar Jackson status or Justin Fields. Like, I bet Mahomes might have more rush attempts than Jalen Hurts this year. If you took away the tush pushes, I think he might have more rushing attempts.
You see those fans today in Philadelphia waiting outside the practice facility with signs that said "Run the ball."
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were outside the Philadelphia. It was two fans with big old cardboard signs that said "Run the ball."
Much. These guys are too much, man.
Yeah, I posted that video of, Big Dom, the security guard from the 49ers. We have like 65 plus comments on YouTube about these
crazy.
Eagles and 49er fans just going at it. Like, I don't know. I wish they'd all sub, honestly. But yeah, give us a sub. But it's like all these guys are just excuse me. I can't imagine arguing with people across the internet on YouTube. Like, I don't know. It's a wild world. I'm really excited about this game. This game I'm the most excited about is the Eagles Cowboys.
Well, Trent,
game.
you weren't called a casual, so you don't understand.
Okay, sorry. It's true. It's true.
I got how many games back is Dallas in the division, Trent?
I believe they're one back, right? Well, I haven't looked at the division standings. The Eagles are 10-2. Dallas is 9-3. I don't have the divisional standing set up. The Cowboys have lost to the Cardinals, Eagles, and 49ers. The Eagles have lost to the 49ers and the Jets. So I don't know if that AFC comes into factor with all that, but
I'm going to go Dallas wins this game.
It's in Dallas.
I'm going Dallas because Dak historically plays really well against the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts, he's a little beat up, and the Cowboys, like if you look at it on turf, they are way better on turf than grass. It's a really weird stat, but they play a lot better on turf. They're one of the few teams, and they're really good at home. So I'm going with Dallas.
I think I'm going to go Cowboys here, even though I think the Eagles have a decent chance, a pretty good chance to win. I think Cowboys are going to sneak it out like they did last week. I think if like DK Metcalf, AJ Brown are really comparable, AJ Brown thinks he's going to have a monster week. So
we're going to find out how good Deron Bland is this week.
Well, I don't know if they're going to make him do the same thing he did against the Seahawks because it didn't necessarily work.
Yeah. And we all have off games every once in a while too.
Yeah, that's true.
So hoping he bounces back. All right. Next game on the slate here, guys. We all went Cowboys. I think that's kind of my favorite games I have listed on here. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Las Vegas. The Vikings are 6-6. The Raiders are 5-7. The total is 40.5. Minnesota is favored by 3, and Justin Jefferson is supposed to be playing in this game, which is good news. I did a little wide receiver ranking on Twitter. People were surprised how high I had Justin Jefferson. He was like just within the top 10. I think if Justin Jefferson plays, he's automatically like potential to be wide receiver number 1. They did not rush him back. They let him take his time, get ready to play. Like, I think if they were, I think he could have played a couple of weeks ago if they really wanted him to or needed him to. Like, I think this was the goal all along. I think he's more than healthy and ready to play this one. I like Justin Jefferson. I think you can still play Dobbs, especially in this matchup. Vikings running backs, what do you think, Jordan? Do you think Chandler gets some carries or?
Man, I don't know. This Vikings
I'm just gonna
offense
stay
don't
away.
really. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away. I was gonna look at their snap percentage last week. Yeah, Chandler was 33%. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't love it. I just think you play all the good guys in this game. Play Jefferson, Hawkinson, Jacobs, Devontae, and then my question was, can I play Dobbs? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go Dobbs, but I don't love it.
You don't love it, but this Raiders defense isn't something that's like super scary either, you know?
Why is this total low? This total feels too low to me, and I can't figure out why.
The total is
40.
I don't know.
I feel like it should be like a 43 or 44, not 40.
Yeah. Vikings defense has kind of been sneaky lately.
Is the Vegas is in a dome, right? That stadium's in a dome.
Vegas is in a dome. Maybe
so I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but I think more it's just how bad these offenses are, like quarterback play. So
yeah. I don't know. The only thing I do know is the easiest place to play fantasy and win money is Underdog. Go over to Underdog Sports, guys. Pick them, watch them, win them. You choose higher or lower on 2 to 5 of your favorite players' stats. The more you pick, the more you can win, guys. Enter promo code DUDES. They will match you up to $500, guys. They got Best Ball Mania. You can win up to $15 million. All kinds of good stuff. Drafts every single week. Head over to Underdog. Good friends of the pod, guys, in promo code DUDES. Raiders side, you can play Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. Jacoby Myers has been playing really well lately. I think you can stay in the Flames with him. You know, he's his rostership isn't super high either. Like, it's high. He's definitely in your league, you know, but they're coming off the bye, so yeah, 77%. Never mind. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on.
No, just
in this game.
Play the good guys.
Maybe Michael Mayer has a really good game coming off the bye. Sometimes that happens with rookies. Not willing to start him at this time of the season. You know, this is where you have to start winning right here to get into the playoffs. Week 14. I'm going to say Vikings win this game.
I got Vikings.
I'm Vikings on the cross. That makes me almost want to go Raiders right there. But Vikings, see how their new coach handles coming off the bye week. Speaking of Raiders and old Raiders players, I do not think David Carr is playing this week, but we have the Panthers traveling to New Orleans. The 1-11 Panthers traveling to take on the 5-7 Saints. The total is 37.5. New Orleans is favored by 5.5. I really like Kamara in this game, which I like Kamara every single week. Is Jameis Winston playing?
He would be the quarterback if Carr's out.
It doesn't look like Carr's playing as of right now. I haven't heard anything. Anyone you want to play on the Panthers this week other than Thielen? Mingo's getting a little more.
Mingo would be the one, but I think that's more like of a DFS or like kind of play than it is like you're not playing him to get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So
it's a tough spot. Chuba's been playing really well lately. That's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot. But you're right, Trent. It's an absolute Alvin Kamara like smash spot this week.
This could be an ugly game.
Yeah, you have Taysom Hill obviously play him because they're
This
using him a
Trent,
lot
this
with
is
Carr out.
This is a 37.5 total in a dome. That should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah. I think Olave might get the ball more with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, more YOLO balls.
Like I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the guys were saying that it was QB1. It's the Palmer one that Palmer does with the backup quarterback on the Bills, and they were wanting Jameis Winston to come on the pod because they said he'd be a good time. Sorry, it was Busting with the Boys where they want Jameis Winston to come on, and I guess during he's just so focused on ball. They said right now he doesn't do anything but play football right now, so he can't hop on podcasts. They're just like. I don't know. When I watch Jameis Winston work out and stuff, I feel like that guy is going on podcasts. He's just the type of guy that he's the type of guy, if I went pro, I'd hire Seth to be my trainer and stuff like that. You watch his workouts and you're like, this guy's just paying his friends to work him out. I don't think he has the best guys, but I don't know. That was a long segue that really didn't go anywhere, but yeah, I know being in the NFL is busy, obviously, but I feel like that guy could do podcasts if he wanted to. They're probably just worried he's to say something outlandish, honestly. I'm going Saints win this one.
I got Saints.
Yeah, Saints.
And maybe Jameis Winston will be rapping on the sidelines to Carr again during this game. I don't know. I still have memories of when he tore his ACL and was dancing in the locker room with the fog machines. Still think it's cool to have fog machines in there. Yeah. All right, next game on the list, we have the 9-3 Lions traveling to take on the Chicago Bears. Got a classic NFC North game. Again, this might be weather-related, Jordan. I don't know what the weather looks like there. You are the official pod anchor weatherman. Line is 40.5, and Detroit is favored by 3.5. I'm excited to watch DJ Moore in this game, see Justin Fields come back, maybe even some Cole Kmet. Do we got bad weather potentially, Jordan?
Yeah, so it's 55% chance of rain, 20.5 mile per hour winds.
Oh boy.
Maybe
the totals
dropped to watch DJ Moore.
The totals dropped from 46.5 to 41.5. What do you have that now, Trent? That's what this tweet says, but I have it at 40.
40.
I have it at 40.5.
Yeah, so it's dropped almost 6 points from the open. So that's a big deal, man. That weather's bad. Because honestly, this was a game that I really liked when they played in Detroit. I had a lot of that game in DFS. But yeah, the weather, man, it's a big deal. It's a good spot for DJ Moore and Justin Fields, but that weather could be interesting. But DJ Moore could also just house one. He could take a slant to the house. And then I think it's DJ Moore, Fields, and then your usual Lions, the big four for the Lions. Laporta, ASB, Demont, and Gibbs.
I think
if the weather's that bad, this could be a Demont game.
Yes. And revenge game. Don't ever count that out.
Yep. Good point.
Don't count out the revenge game. And then Jameson Williams, I could see him doing an end around or something. It seems like they're creatively getting him involved more. And I think
my only question is, if the weather is that bad with the wind, those deep balls might be a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking end around or something. They might get him involved.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They might do something creative where you're running the ball every play. Hey, let's do a fly sweep to Jameson and see what he does.
Or even a quick screen. Quick screen. You could house a quick screen at all times.
To the crib.
To the crib.
I'm gonna go Lions.
I'm going Lions.
I'm going to go Lions. I'd like to go Chicago here, but I don't think I can do it.
And Justin Fields is kind of playing for his career right now. And I think if it's bad weather, I think I kind of lean.
You think he's going to take off and run? You're going to go Bears? I think that's smart, Trent.
The Bears defense is playing really well. Justin Fields with bad weather is going to be running around for his life. I actually think the Bears can win this game. Just because Bears defense has played okay.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm going to stick with the Lions, but I think it's going to be a close game.
We're a Lions pod, which, it's just kind of a bummer that I did that. But usually when I pick against the Lions, it works out in their favor. All right, next on the list, we are going over to Baltimore. We have the Los Angeles Rams, who are 6-6. And the Ravens are hosting them, who are 9-3. The total is 40.5. Baltimore is favored by 7. Odell Beckham Jr. said he's looking forward to seeing Sean McVay. Said Sean McVay made him excited to play football again, made him love the game again, and so he's thankful for that. But we have the Rams and the Ravens. Like I said, I like Keaton Mitchell in this game. I also like Isaiah Likely. He led the Ravens in receiving yards last time we saw the Ravens play, so I think you can fire him up if you need some help at tight end. He was very low rostered earlier this week. If you want to see all my waiver ads, go sign up for our waiver email at www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. Ravens have been they're winning games. They're a good team. They haven't been super fun on the fantasy side. I like Zay Flowers, Jordan.
Yeah, I don't know. This game's weird. Baltimore's favored by over a touchdown, but I just don't love anybody. I don't love anybody on the Ravens side. I think Keaton Mitchell's the most interesting play in this game, or starting this game. And I guess you can start Zay Flowers, but the Rams defense isn't a pushover, but they're not an elite defense. So it's just a weird matchup for the Ravens. On the Rams side, yeah, Puka and Kupp are okay, but again, really tough matchup for the Rams here in the Ravens. Same with Kyron. Kyron's okay because of volume. You're just gonna play Kyron, but man, it's a weird game. I feel like I should like more in this game, but I really don't like much. I think Kyron and Keaton Mitchell are your best starts. And the Rams wide receivers you just probably are starting. But I don't really love. I don't know. It's a weird game for me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
Yeah. Kyron is one I don't really like in this game, like you said. The Ravens are they're kind of tough, but yeah, the volume.
His workload and volume, he might just get there on dump offs too. That's the good thing about Kyron is that he's involved in the pass game too. So he has upside in the pass game, which does help, even if they're trailing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say Ravens win this one. Rams are in the mix.
Trent,
they're on a little hot streak.
Just want to echo that point right there. Kyron played 94% snaps, 60 of the 64 running back snaps he played. His volume just elite, so you have to play him.
Yeah. And who's the backup there? Is it Royce still?
Royce Freeman.
Yeah,
he got 4 snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, and Kyron's just he's playing good ball right now. He's running back 7 on the season, and that's with all the time he missed. Jordan, you said you thought he could be a waiver wire winner. I wasn't super league winner. I wasn't sure. And then when he missed 4 games due to injury, I thought he'd kind of fall back down to earth, and he hasn't. He's had some really big games though. His worst game has been 6 fantasy points, but most of his games, but 2 that he's played have been double-digit fantasy points, and 2 of those have been over 26 fantasy points also. So you got to fire up Kyron. And this is a good test for Kyron in that Rams team to see what happens. Because it seems like the Ravens have had trouble blowing people out this year. They kind of play everybody maybe I just they barely beat the Chargers. Maybe I just haven't watched enough of them yet saying that. But it seems like they kind of just their defense. We aren't getting that Lamar Jackson season I thought he was going to have by any means, but I don't even know what is he on the season right now, Lamar. Let me pull it up. He is QB 10. Yeah. Which, when you have a running quarterback like Lamar, you probably reached on him hoping he wouldn't finish at QB 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
And interesting schedule remaining for the Ravens. They have the Rams, the Jaguars, the 49ers. I don't know if you want to, maybe the 49ers for Lamar is a good game. Maybe he runs a lot and just, kind of takes over, but that's week 16. That's playoffs for you with Lamar Jackson. So I don't really know. I'm going to say Ravens win this one. You can play Puka.
Baltimore.
Maybe Tutu Atwell's a sneaky play, but this Ravens defense is just so good.
I'm going to go Ravens for sure.
Do you like Puka way more, Seth, now that he likes anime?
I don't watch anime.
Now you deny it. You see that he asked Cooper Kupp in the huddle, hey, do you like anime? Cooper Kupp's no.
I'm sure. Yeah, because
It's pretty funny looking at it.
Cooper
Yeah, he's
Cup's like
leave me
old
alone.
and Puka's like a kid, So
He's like, you have a lot. He said something like for why he would think. He's like, you're a nice guy. You should like anime. Like anime's nice. Like you can tell like Cooper's just like annoyed. It's pretty funny. You gotta
like,
go
what
look
are you
it up.
talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
you guys both go ahead, Trent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
no. It's just kind of how Seth feels with us. Like he's shocked we don't like anime.
Yeah.
I'm shocked Trent is still never mind.
What, Jordan?
You guys both have Baltimore?
I got Baltimore.
Yeah.
All right. Next on the list here, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 5-7, traveling to Atlanta, who is 6-6. The total's 39.5. Atlanta's favored by 2. We got Mike Evans, 1,000-yard season. Fire up Mike Evans, fire up Rashid White, and Jordan, you had your sleeper of the week in Drake London. I kind of hope that hits. Drake London's actually pretty low rostered, I think, for what he was, especially coming off the bye. No, he's still 87% rostered. I dropped him in a league. He's wide receiver 44. There's like guys on your waiver wire better than Drake London, but I know the talent's there.
It's a really good spot. It's a really good spot for this Atlanta passing game. It just depends on if you trust Ritter or not. Like I think Ritter stacks and DFS are interesting just because this is a defense that it's a pass funnel. They're gonna stop Bijan on the ground. I think Bijan's interesting just because of his pass game capabilities. But man, yeah, it's a pretty solid spot for the Atlanta passing game. It's a really good spot for the Atlanta passing game. It's just a matter of if you trust it. So
yeah. Are we all ready to have our hearts broken by Kyle Pitts again this week? Are you going to be messing with any Kyle Pitts?
Thing.
What is his price on those things, Jordan? Is he still like a pretty high end tight end? Like I feel like name value alone, he's going to be high, and I just don't think it's going to be worth it unless he just goes absolutely bananas and dummies these guys.
So Kyle Pitts is 3,700 on DraftKings. So for example, Kelsey's 7,800, Kincaid's 5,500, Ingram's 4,800. So he's like right above likely's 3,500 and Joku's 4,100. So he's sandwiching between those two guys.
I think you're way more like affordable and likely, and way more of a likely a game to be better, than Kyle Pitts.
It's just an elite spot. I just like Drake London. I like the Drake London Ritter. Maybe you can throw Rashad White, but it's a tough matchup for all the Atlanta's defense been sneaky good. They're a pretty solid defense. Their offense is bad. So it's not really a good spot for any of the Buccaneers. I guess Evans and Rashad White always are in play. Evans can do it against anybody, but
yeah.
Trent, I have a question. Streaming quarterbacks, Dobbs or Baker? It's Dobbs, right?
I think with the rushing upside, you got to go Dobbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dobbs has been more the guy I like more, Jordan, and he's rostered higher now is Jordan Love was my main guy to get this.
Yeah.
He's just playing good point. Good. Did you put any bids on to get Jordan Love or
I don't think he was available.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. Cause I looked for him in those leagues also, but yeah, he's pretty low. He was pretty low rostered. He was low 60s on rostership. So yeah, he's playing pretty good. I'm gonna go. What about Bijan? Do we like this spot? I'm watching.
Fine. I think it's just an okay spot because he has receiving upside. Yeah,
I was watching the Falcons last week, and Cordell Patterson was getting snaps again. I don't know if he's been hurt all year, but he's actually was getting the ball more, which was kind of frustrating. And maybe it was just
Bijan played 75% snaps.
And Cordell Patterson was 31.
I think they overlapped a little bit because 75% for Bijan, Algier 16%, and Cordell's 31%. My math skills aren't great, but that seems like it's over 100%. So that means that two of them were on the field at some time together. Sometimes they're on the field together.
Okay. I'm gonna say
Which honestly, Trent, Cordero might be like sneaky if they're using him in the pass game at all. You know, if they're lining him up a
yes.
wide receiver, that's kind of a sneaky little play there.
It's kind of weird
But
too
I
when
don't
both
know.
of those guys are on the field too. Like if they're both in the backfield, I don't know. They both can run routes decently well. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay here.
I got Tampa Bay as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks too.
All right. Next here on our list, we have the Indianapolis Colts, who are 7-5, playing against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 6-6. Seth has a start in this game. The total is 40.5. Indianapolis is favored by 1. Seth, you have the floor, my man.
Okay, so with Jonathan Taylor being out last week, Zach Moss played 94% of snaps, had 19 carries for 51 yards, so super inefficient, but also had 3 targets and 2 catches in the passing, not for very many yards. So he had about 21 touches. So that's pretty encouraging. So he's going to see probably about the same amount of volume this next week. Hopefully he's a little more efficient. And the reasoning behind the efficiency is the last few weeks, the Bengals have given up, this is 5 touchdowns in the last 5 weeks. And they've allowed more. Last week, they only allowed 50 yards to the Jaguars. But before that, they're allowing 100 or more each of the matchups. So I think this could be a good spot for the Colts run game and Zach Moss. I think you can expect a touch here, and hopefully he gets around the 100-yard mark, and that's going to put you well into where you think, well into the projection of you're hoping for. So,
all right. I hope he bounces back. I spent a lot of fab on him in a league last week, and it was pretty disappointing. He's showed some, he still definitely
he
has
was the
something in
leading
tank.
rusher a couple weeks ago in the NFL, and then Taylor came back, right? So I think he has the potential and the ability. It's just, comes down to maybe who's playing or how the game goes. So,
Jordan, what do you have on this? Like I had people like complaining that I didn't put Jake Browning on my top 15 QB list.
No, that's
this
like
week.
my question is like, do you trust what you saw with Browning on Monday Night Football? Was it a mirage? Like, can he repeat anything close to that? Because if he can, it's a pretty good spot, honestly, for the offense. Like
I hope.
I think there's weather in this game too. So let me look at the weather in this game.
Because like Jamar Chase had a great game with Browning back there.
It's because they got him the ball, right? Like they got him in short stuff. So we got like an 83% chance of rain with 20 miles per hour wind. So like that's the issue right here. You're gonna have rain and wind. Like it's gonna be 45 degrees with rain and wind. Like that's no fun. This total has dropped. Total has dropped from 40. Oh, it's gone from 40 to 42, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So maybe the weather is not as big of a deal. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just think it's a pretty good mixing spot, pretty good Zach Moss spot. I like Chase. I think like Pittman and Downs are interesting. So I kind of like pieces in this game. I think I want to see how the weather is and see if that total what that total does, because ultimately that's what drives me when it comes to weather. Total
deep leagues. Chase Brown did have 15% of the snaps at running back. He had 6 fantasy points, so he had 9 carries for 61 yards. I think they're just going to lean on this running game a little bit more than what they normally do without Joe Burrow. And like Mixon had a good game. You see that conga line they had after the touchdown. That guy said some choice words. That was like
this total's going up, Trent. Sorry, it's at 43.5 now. So I'm not worried about the weather in this game. Yeah.
Okay. So fire up your Chase. T. Higgins is a guy that has probably been a pretty big letdown this year. Like, I don't know about that. And then, but yeah, Browning, maybe it's a decent spot. If you're just in a spot with your back against the wall, I might do that in a league. I don't have Kyler Murray and don't have Trevor Lawrence.
I have to use Browning in my dynasty league.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Jordan, about Trevor Lawrence? Well, I guess we can talk about that more.
We'll get there when we get there. Yeah,
we'll get there. All right. I'm going to say Bengals win this game.
Man. You know what? I need the Bengals to win this game. So for divisional purposes, I'm going to root on the Bengals here.
All right. Going on
Seth?
to the next. Oh,
yeah, I'm going to go Bengals too.
All right, next
All right.
game we have an AFC West matchup. We have the 6-6 Denver Broncos traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, who are 5-7. The total is 43.5. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. Jordan has a start in this game, and we got the Chargers coach. I think he's on maybe one of the hottest hot seats in the NFL right now. I'd be shocked if he comes back next year, but I don't think they're going to sneak into the playoffs this year like they did last year. Jordan, your start.
Yeah, so I got sorry, I was messing around with my formatting here and my spreadsheet's a little off. Okay, so I have Cortland Sutton as a start here. I think it's a pretty solid bounce back spot for Russ and Sutton. I know Sutton had the 45-yard touchdown, but didn't do much other than that. And Russ kind of came on late, but really didn't look good. But this is an elite matchup. The Chargers give up the third most fantasy points to wide receivers, fifth most receiving yards. Sutton seems like the clear number one target for Russell Wilson now. And I think he has a really big game. I can see like a 6-catch, 125-yard, and 1 touchdown performance from him. Really like Cortland Sutton here in this spot. And kind of like Russell Wilson in the Denver passing game as a whole. I think right now Russell Wilson is one of my favorite quarterbacks to stack this week. Reasonable price, Sutton reasonably priced. An elite matchup with the Chargers passing defense. They've been giving up a ton of, other than last week, but they play the Patriots, so you can't take much away from that. So weather should be solid here in LA, so I think that's not a worry. That's SoFi, right? That's a dome game, right?
Yeah, it's a dome game, but even when they have like lightning, they have to, delay the game.
Because it's like a half dome. It's kind of a weird dome. Open-ended. So, but yeah, like the spot for Russell Wilson and Cortland Sutton quite a bit here.
Yeah, Sutton's had some pretty good games, made some really good catches.
Some crazy catches, yeah.
That toe drag. What do you think about like Javonte, Jordan?
It's fine. It's a decent spot for Javonte.
And then Eckler. I almost had Eckler as a set, but Eckler's been so frustrating.
Yeah,
absolutely so frustrating. Like last week was I know the Patriots are good, but you would have thought Eckler maybe would have got more dump downs. I don't know what the deal is.
Is he a free agent next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll be on the team next year.
He must just be playing to go be, the third down back. You see that bet he made on his fantasy show that if David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs were both top 15 running backs, he'd shave both his eyebrows. So just a bad season all along for him, honestly. I'm going to go Broncos win this game. I don't have any faith in the Chargers to pull this one out.
Yeah, I'm going Denver as well.
I'm going to go Chargers.
Okay. And then, all right. Next game we have here, we have the Houston Texans, who are 7-5, traveling to, do I have the wrong thing on here? Yeah, traveling to New York to take on the Jets, who are 4-8. The total here is 33. Houston is favored by 6. Jordan, you have a sit in this game.
Yeah, so I got my sit. I got Nico Collins as a sit. I know Tank Dell's out. I know Nico Collins looked amazing last week. So, I know there's that. They have that going for them. He's more volume for him. But, man, this Jets defense is just really, really, really good against the pass. They give up the least fantasy points to wide receivers. They've only allowed 3 passing touchdowns through, what are we, 13 weeks. 3 passing touchdowns to receivers. And they allow the least amount of yards to receivers. Yeah, I'm going to play the matchups here. This is not a passing defense that I pick on. I haven't picked on them all year. This is an elite secondary, and I'm not willing to play Nico Collins here. Yeah, I have Nico Collins as a sit just because of this matchup based, and I don't know. I don't like this spot for Nico Collins at all.
You're gonna get the Stroud boys to come after you,
and it's on the road. Like they're on the road. This is in New York. The weather, I think we got a little bit of weather here too. So just not something that I really want to be a part of here. I'm seeing if I can
really
find
low line. Zach Wilson might be playing again.
Yeah, they said he's a starting QB.
Yeah,
I think it's announced.
Yeah. So
The weather. So weather here is 53% chance of rain, 56 degrees and 20 miles per hour winds. This total's gone from 39 to 34.5.
what do you even
That's
think
what it
about
is
like
now.
Stroud in this game? Like I don't really I like Stroud a lot. I'm not like excited to play him in this. What's
No,
the
it's
matchup
it's
here
just
here?
it's a horrible. It's at 33 now. The total's 33. Like this, it's a brutal spot. You got weather. They're gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard pressed to pass in this game. I don't like Stroud. I don't like Neil Collins. I don't really like much here.
Okay.
It's good.
Probably have to play Brees Hall. Texans running back's kind of a mess over there. Maybe
Yep.
a good Dalton Schultz isn't playing yet, right? We don't know.
I don't know.
Haven't heard about that one.
I would imagine Brevin Jordan might be interesting if Schultz doesn't play. Schultz was limited participant in practice on Wednesday.
Okay. I'm going. I don't even know who to pick, like who I want to, who I think is going to win this game.
I'm
Like,
going
thinking-
Texans.
I'm going Texans, but it's going to be an ugly game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Jets.
Okay. All right. Next on the list here, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, 8-4, traveling to Cleveland to take on the 7-5 Browns. I have a sit in this game. Cleveland's favored by 3. Calvin Ridley, this is one of the toughest passing defenses in the NFL in Cleveland. You have a backup quarterback. I just don't like the mixture of no starting quarterback in Beathard. And Beathard didn't practice it. I think he's going to play. I think it was his non-throwing arm injury. This is Wednesday night. But yeah, tough defense, no quarterback, no Trevor Lawrence. I don't like Calvin Ridley at all in this game. And I think that if you have Calvin Ridley, you probably have some guys that are similar, that you can maybe even play over him. I do know he caught that big pass in the game, but there was a holding call. But I just want to see a little bit more with Beathard and him before, because Ridley's just had a really weird season. So that's why I'm sitting him. And
I'm gonna be
Browns
honest, Trent.
defense. Yeah. Think he's better?
I think Trevor Lawrence might play in this game.
You think so?
Really?
I know it's not. I know the line doesn't say that, but let me say this. I think there's a better chance. I think he's a more of a chance of playing than I think you're giving him credit for. I sent a video to you guys today. Like, the guy's not wearing a boot. He's not wearing crutches. He's not limping. Like, and I know it's a far, playing an NFL game and walking on the podium is 2 different things. But we know how careful they are with these guys. They have these guys in boots no matter what, right? Like,
yeah.
They're always in a boot. Like, they're always in a boot if there's any precaution. He's not wearing a boot. And honestly, his ankle doesn't look very swollen in the video. Like, he's not limping. Like, we've all had sprained ankles. Like, even 3 days later, if your ankle's that sprained, like, you're probably, like, limping a little bit, right? Like, even walking around on it.
I just think they might precautionary take at least this one.
No. And there's a weird exchange with the reporter where the reporter goes like, "Hey, Trevor, like, you're not wearing a boot, like, you're not wearing anything. Like, how do you be cautious so like, make sure like you don't trip and fall or you don't roll?" And he goes, "You just walk normal, like so like I don't know. It's a weird deal, like where it looked really bad, and I'm just starting to wonder if it's kind of as bad as it really looked. Like I don't know. I think he probably ends up not playing. But I think because I think they're going to want him for Sunday Night Football against Baltimore in Week 15. So,
and even just playoffs, like there's no need.
No, I know, but
they have a slight lead in the AFC South. But
that's the problem. They're only up 1 game, so that every game is still important. So, but I think the Christian Kirk injury is a big deal. I think Parker Washington is like very interesting, probably more of a DFS play, just at like the Stoneman 3K, like kind of a Stoneman wide receiver that you can use just based on.
Etienne's the only
really
guy
good.
I really like in this game.
Yeah.
On the Jag side.
I honestly think, Trent, if we're playing season long and you need to win to get in the playoffs, the only guys you can play in this game is Ford and Etienne, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe Evan Ingram, just because tight end, is tight end, and maybe you don't have anyone else. And Evan Ingram could be a guy that Beathard looks for underneath. I think this is another weather game. We got 20. Wow. This is we have what I'm seeing 87% chance of rain and 24.5 mph winds.
Yeah, might be
So
a
this
decent
total-
Kareem Hunt play.
This total started at 40, Trent, when it opened. Now, part of that might have to do with the quarterbacks, too. I don't know if that opened before Trevor Lawrence got hurt. And we're now at 30.5. So it's a weird game.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
I went Cleveland.
I'm going to go Cleveland just because they're home.
Yeah, Jaguars.
Joe Flacco.
If Lawrence plays, though, that's when it's different. But
all right, we got 2 games left. We got 2 Monday night games. I've always said I wanted them to do this. I kind of wanted them to be like not starting at the same time. So this is kind of interesting. But we have the Tennessee Titans who are 4-8. That's correct, right, Jordan? 2 Monday night games.
Yeah, they're both at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, 5:15 Pacific Standard Time.
All right. Titans who are 4-8 traveling to Miami to take on the 9-3 Dolphins. The total is 47. Miami's favored by 13.5. You can start A-Chain in this game. Whether I just think he looks too good, and if the Dolphins take another big lead, they're just going to keep running the ball with him. I know that the Titans did really good against the run last week with the Colts, but I think I truly believe A-Chain's a top 10 back this week.
Yeah, I think I lean the passing
good.
game. I think I lean the passing game more than you, but just because it's an elite spot for the passing game as well.
It's a great passing spot.
But it might be something where last week where the passing game gets there, A-Chain also gets there. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think they can both get there. At some point, we're going to get another big Waddle game. I don't know. But I like this spot. It's an elite passing game spot for Miami. So on the Titans side, I think DeAndre Hopkins is interesting just because this is a Dolphins team that you can pass on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Hopkins. And then I love the on that 2-game slate for DFS on Monday night. Man, I might just load up on Tyreek and Tua and just lock those 2 guys in and go from there.
Yeah. Seth, anything you want to say on this one?
oh man, I actually do have a question. When we're picking the total, are we picking? We want to pick it for the next game.
What game should we do? What's the highest total? Let's do the Tennessee Miami. What Trent? What do
Okay,
you
This
think?
one's 47, and the Packers Giants is 37.
I'm going to
Let's
say
do the
that.
other one. Let's do the other
Okay.
one.
Okay. So fire up your Henry, maybe Spear. Henry was in he's out of concussion protocol actually already, I believe.
Yeah, he's not
from what
in
I
it.
heard. All right. I'm going to say Dolphins win this game. Who's going Titans?
Nobody.
Okay. All right. Last game on the slate. We have the Green Bay Packers who are 6-6 traveling to New York to take on the 4-8 Giants. When I did this, the total was 37.5 and Green Bay was favored by 6.5. Giants side, you're starting Barkley. I don't know if you really want to start anyone else. You can start Jordan Love.
Nobody else.
Some deep Packers players you can play like Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed. I don't know if I'm assuming Christian Watson's not playing. He had a non-contact hamstring injury.
Yeah, that was
I think you
bad.
can play Jaden Reed. I didn't feel like making him a sleeper again for the 19th time this year. Or I even think Romeo Doubs. I think you can play him too.
Yeah.
Like one of those.
Because Trent, it's a really good passing spot. It's a really good spot for the Green Bay.
Your boy
passing game.
Kraft, Jordan, you can play Kraft too, I think.
Yeah, play Kraft maybe.
Anyone on the Giants you want to play.
Saquon. Saquon's your only guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know if we need to talk too much more about this one, guys. Sorry. Relate here. Anything else you guys want to say here on this?
No, I will
total.
take
I'm gonna go Packers.
I'll go Packers and I'm gonna go 44.
I'm gonna go Packers and I'm gonna say 41.
Seth?
All right, I'll go Packers and go 40.
Okay.
All right. You think Phil's smart enough to take 45 or you think he goes 42?
We almost should just not even tell him. He's not going to put in his total. Who knows? All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you on Monday, guys. It's always fun doing the show here with you. Season's almost over. We'll see you on Monday, guys. And as always, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.